Guys, welcome back to my channel. As you can see, I've got a pretty decent grocery haul. I went to Coles, Woolies and my local greengrocer. I grabbed lots of good deals this week. I'll run through the prices and the meal plan. So these cucumbers were $1.99 a kilo, so this bag was about 750 grams, so much cheaper than Coles and Woolies. Tomatoes were $1.69 a kilo. Bananas were $2.49 a kilo. Capsicum was $1.99 a kilo. And the avocados were 2 for $5. The white peaches were $2.99 a kilo. And the mushrooms were $2.99 a kilo. This was all purchased from my greengrocer. So much cheaper than my local Coles and Woolies. Moving down here, I did grab a few markdowns. These pastries, I wouldn't say are super duper cheap because I have gotten chocolate eclairs for 99 cents before. But I'm hosting dinner tonight, so I figured a few little sweet treats won't do any harm. So the chocolate eclairs were $4.50, marked down to $2.61. We grabbed 2. And then I also grabbed 1 fresh cream apple turnover for $2.70. And then I saw these thick and creamy mango and passion fruit yogurts, marked down to 71 cents each. So I grabbed 3. Would have loved to grab more, but they only had 3 available, so we'll make do with that. Then over here, we went to Woolies. I grabbed some smoked barbecue slaw kit, marked down to 90 cents. I think generally the price for this is roughly about $4.50 to $5.50, so super happy with that price point. Woolies also has a weekly special. So this week, I think the new catalogue rolls out on the Wednesday. So you can get chicken breast at Woolies for $8 a kilo up until this coming Tuesday, I believe. But I don't know when I'm going to upload this video, so just quickly check online before you pop out to the shops if you're after this chicken breast. So I'm probably going to use this for meal prep for weekly lunches. And then if I have any left over, I'll probably just cut them into thin strips and then pop them in Ziploc bags and toss it in the freezer. With the barbecue slaw, I actually purchased some salmon because it was on sale this week at Woolies as well for $30 a kilo. We're probably going to grill that salmon, do a quick smoky barbecue slaw, saute some capsicum and mushrooms, and that's dinner. And my partner also picked this up. Some type of toothpaste with fluoride. This was marked down actually. I think this tube is normally $15 from what he told me, and it was marked down to $4.50. Now it is only 75 mils, so it's quite expensive, but he really wanted to try this, so we're going to give this a go. Apparently it's a whitening toothpaste and it has the capacity to whiten your teeth up to 8 shades, so we'll see about that. Pork mince, $8 for 800 grams. Probably going to do some type of san choy bao meal during the week with some mushrooms. Mango. I got this at my local greengrocer as well. This entire tray was $4.99. Amazing. Now just bear in mind that some of the mangoes are a little bit on the softer end, but I'm completely fine with that because I'll just dice them up, scoop the flesh out, blend it up into a puree, and then turn that into a milkshake. Some of them are good to eat, some of them are a bit too soft. The soft ones will be used for a smoothie, or I might even make some homemade mango ice cream. I've also grabbed some Shin ramen at Woolies because they were better than half price, so they were 99 cents per pack. This is a bit of a treat because it's not healthy at all, but on some nights where I just don't want to cook, grabbing a packet of ramen and then bulking it up with some protein like chicken or prawns and tossing in some veggies and a poached egg is better than me driving to get Macca's. It's more cost effective and it's still going to be healthier than me getting fast food. Anyways, guys, that wraps up the grocery haul. Stay tuned. I'm going to add on the cooking clips if you are interested in watching that. Welcome to the cooking segment of the video, guys. I'm trying to make a healthy lunch here. So I've got some mushrooms, slaw mix, and capsicum, which I'm steaming in a little bit of water before I add in some soy sauce and oyster sauce. Then I thinly slice some little strips of chicken breast, chuck that in with a bit of chicken salt and oyster sauce, and kind of just cook that through. That is my partner's portion. He doesn't like too much sauce, and this is my portion, obviously loaded with sauce. Next, I've got some pan-fried salmon. The skin's nice and crispy, and I've got that smoked barbecue slaw I got marked down. You guys will see that in my next markdown grocery video. Here I've got some sliced mushrooms and some minced garlic, and I also pulled out some frozen ravioli in the freezer. I've got some milk and some Danish feta and cracked pepper, which I'm going to turn into a sauce. I start by sauteing my mushrooms and garlic, and I've just blitzed up that feta and milk to create that sauce. Once my ravioli has finished boiling, I strain it and add it in with the mushroom and sauce. Alright, so new meal, I've got some capsicum, mushrooms, onion, garlic, a can of tomatoes, some spinach, and I've also peeled and deveined some prawns. Now I've divided it into two and cut one portion into chunks, and the other portion I've left the prawns whole. I start by sauteing the mushrooms. In a separate pot I've got my pasta boiling, and about 60 seconds before I strain it, I add in my spinach just to help cook that through, then I strain the whole lot. Then I chuck in my mushrooms. I'm using the same pan to add in a bit of butter to saute the capsicum and onions, and then once that's cooked I chuck it in the pot as well, and then I add in some more butter and some garlic just to cook my prawns through. I do lightly season it with salt, and then once that's done I chuck in some tomato sauce. You can use passata. I've just used simple canned diced tomatoes. And then I add that whole lot into the pasta, mix it through, then I top it up with some Danish feta. So kind of a throw it together pasta. A bit messy, but it tasted so good. The following day I had some waffles and some chai vanilla tea, I think it was. And that was really good. I actually add in a bit of milk as well. In this next clip, I actually made a seafood highlighter and avocado salad, and then I kind of just eat that in some lettuce cups. This next meal, I kind of used up leftovers, some leftover roast veggies, a bit of a onion, capsicum, tomato, balsamic salad I have there, and then I just chucked some battered fish in the oven, and that kind of turned into a use it up meal. Pretty simple, pretty easy, and pretty good. So I start by sauteing my onion with a little bit of butter. In a separate bowl, I've got some spring onions, garlic and onions, which I've minced. I've also got some green lip mussels, which I have deshelled. I've got another little bowl of tomatoes and spring onions because I will be making two separate dishes. But I add in the smaller portion, saute that through, then crack in some eggs. And I do season it with a bit of soy sauce. This is a tomato egg. Sometimes if I'm lazy, this is a meal in itself. I just like to have this over some white rice. But on this particular day, I wanted to add some more protein. So I'm actually sauteing some spring onions in a little bit of olive oil. I've also got some garlic in there as well. I toss in my deshelled green lip mussels, which have already been cooked. Add in a bit of oyster sauce, a bit of Chinese cooking wine, and kind of just mix that through. And then I serve all of this with some white steamed rice. I've got the mussels there. I've got the Chinese inspired tomato eggs. Okay, I just wanted to show you guys, I actually picked some cherry tomatoes and spring onions from my garden, which I really loved. And then this bit over there were tomatoes that I purchased from my green grocer. Anyways, I'm going to make a really simple soup for lunch. I've got some little baby macaronis. I've got an Asian soup base that I'm going to use. So I've got some homemade chicken stock. I've added in some carrots, onions, tomato, and spring onion. Then I've also slow cooked some pork ossobuco in there for about an hour and a half. Then I add in my little macaroni bits. Looks a little bit messy, but it was so good. Right, the next meal I've got here, some diced capsicum, which I'm going to saute. I've also got some sliced mushrooms. I love adding mushrooms into bolognese. And I've also got that spicy peppers Domio pasta sauce, which I'm going to use. I also defrosted some beef mince that I got from Costco a while back. So kind of break that up, cook my veggies, toss the mushrooms in, then I add the sauce in and just pour that all on top of some pasta.